Well, guys, rumor is Kathleen Kennedy has one foot out the door and she could be fired at any moment. Hello everybody, I'm Robert Storm. Welcome back to the channel once again. If you're finding me for the very first time, be sure to click that subscribe button. So Kathleen Kennedy is, apparently she has a target on her back and they want her out like bad. Now the source that I'm hearing this from comes from Grace Randolph. She's a critic, she's a YouTube personality, and she says she has an inside source that told her that Bob Iger wants Kathleen Kennedy out, that he wants to fire her right now. The problem is nobody wants to take her job. Nobody wants to replace her. So they can't fire her because they need someone to replace her. And apparently, from what Grace Randolph said, J.J. Abrams was approached by Bob Iger and he turned it down flat. He's like, I don't want nothing to do with this. This is the reason why I think that nobody wants to take Kathleen Kennedy's job, because I think people are afraid to take the job. I honestly, like, look, we have to sit and think, right? We have to remember, it wasn't that long ago that George Lucas sold the company because of the negative backlash he got from fans, okay? George Lucas would still own Lucasfilm right now if people didn't constantly harass him about the prequels. That man got harassed so much that he said, you know what, I don't need this. And he just sold Lucasfilm and sold Star Wars to Disney. And what happened was, well, Force Awakens came out, very successful. Rogue One came out, very successful. But, oh, Last Jedi, very divisive. Nobody wanted to, people were like up in arms. Some people like it, some people hate it, and everybody's fighting with each other. And that's pretty much the first domino that falls. And then what happens? Now Kathleen Kennedy is starting to get harassed as much as George Lucas is, and that's why nobody wants to take this job. Because when you're basically stepping into the lion's den if you take the head job over at Lucasfilm, because you can never please the fans. You can never please the Star Wars fans. Now, me personally, I'm an easy guy to please. I like all the Star Wars movies. Solo was probably my least favorite Star Wars movie of all time, but I mean, I still went and saw it twice. It was an okay film. The problem with Solo was it was a film that was completely unnecessary, that we didn't need. I didn't ask for it. You didn't ask for it. Nobody asked for Solo. Yet Kathleen Kennedy decided, oh, we gotta do a Solo movie. Forget Obi-Wan, do a Solo movie. Now, I'm listening to Grace Randolph's whole video. I'm listening to everything she says, and I agree with her on a lot of points, and then I disagree with her on a lot of points as well. I agree. The hardcore fan is alienated. A lot of people are upset with The Last Jedi. Look, I'm going to show you my cards right now. I like The Last Jedi. I really do. I like it a lot. But I will tell you that movie has a shitload of problems. It has a lot of problems in that movie. And the problems with that movie is because nobody told Rian Johnson you can't do that. Kathleen Kennedy was like, JJ, you do whatever you want. Rian Johnson, you do whatever you want. Colin Trevorrow, you do whatever you want. And never once was there an overall arching storyline for this trilogy. There was never a moment where they had a unique storyline to arch over all three of these movies. They literally like, JJ, you do what you want. Johnson, you do what you want. Trevorrow, you do what you want. That was the biggest fucking problem. And not only that Kathleen Kennedy treats the Star Wars fans like they're fucking idiots. Like they're idiots. Like, oh, well, we're going to do these solo standalone films, okay? And then we're going to take away the opening crawl. We're going to take away everything that makes Star Wars special away from these movies so you guys know that these are different than the saga films. Why? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to give us a Han Solo standalone movie or Boba Fett standalone movie or Lando standalone movie. You don't need to do that. You can make a movie with those characters in it, but they don't have to be the main featured character. If you would have just done like a Smugglers movie with Boba Fett, Lando, and Han, and Kira, and not called it Solo, but called it something else like Star Wars Smuggler Run, you could do something like that. But Kathleen Kennedy doesn't grasp the Star Wars fandom. She doesn't understand this world. She doesn't understand. I guarantee you, if you would pull Kathleen Kennedy aside and you would talk to her one-on-one about Star Wars, I guarantee you realize she doesn't really know that much about Star Wars. Has she seen all the films? Yeah, probably. Does she like them? Maybe. But I guarantee you she's not a fan, like me and you, like you, me, we're fans. I guarantee you, she's not a fan. This is just a job for her, and that's the problem. Someone in her status needs to be able to be a fan of the source material, be able to make business decisions, and understand the source material the right way in order to do it. Now, Grace Randolph kept throwing out Dave Filoni's name. Like, Dave Filoni should take the job, Dave Filoni should take the job, but she feels that maybe no one approached him because he's like the creative guy. He doesn't really have a business sense, and I can understand that, and I understand what Grace Randolph is saying. Well, maybe you can get him a business partner and he'll take care of the creative, and I honestly think that's what needs to happen, because Dave Filoni knows Star Wars. You look at the Clone Wars, you look at Star Wars Rebels, that guy knows how to piece stuff together and make canon make sense, and he's able to take stuff that isn't necessarily good, like the prequels, even though I like the prequels, but there is a lot wrong with the prequels as well, but he's able to take stuff like that and do the Clone Wars to make the prequels feel that much better. And he's able to take characters and make them great, like Ahsoka and Rex and, you know, Ezra and all these great characters. So Dave Filoni knows the creative team. I think he would be fantastic if he was over, like, the Kevin Feige of everything. Just the creative part. He doesn't have to be the business guy over it, but just the creative as the Kevin Feige, I think he would be fantastic. Now, Kathleen Kennedy, now this is where I kind of push back on Grace Randolph, because she wants fans to boycott everything Star Wars in 2019. That doesn't help anything. That doesn't help anything. Bob Iger and Disney already knows fans are extremely upset with Kathleen Kennedy, Kathleen Kennedy's agenda, and what she's been doing with Star Wars. Now, I, for one, love Rey. I love Rey, Finn, I love Poe, I love these characters so much. But that doesn't mean they did not mishandle the legendary characters, because they did. Why did Akbar die? Why was Akbar killed? Okay, I understand why Luke died, and I had no problem with that. Luke died, sacrificing himself, generating more power than any Jedi has ever seen. He died as the most powerful Jedi ever, and it was a really noble sacrifice to me. That's the way I look at it. You guys don't like it? That's cool. You do you, I do me. But why did Akbar die? Like the man had one line in the entire movie, and then you killed him. Why couldn't he be what Holdo was, and he sacrificed himself warping in a warp drive to take out the Snoke ship or whatever the fuck? Why couldn't that be Akbar? Why did it have to be General Holdo, who we never even heard of? Why did it have to be a new character? Why not? If you were going to kill Akbar anyway, why not have Akbar going out like the beast that he is? This guy played a huge role in the Galactic Civil War with the Rebel Alliance. This guy played a huge part on the Battle of Endor. I mean, why? Then you just have him blow up and he just floats out in space and that's it. And then you just like, yeah, Akbar is dead. I mean, the total disregard for the characters are the thing that I think the true fans are really pissed off about. And I'm with you 100%. When Luke throws that lightsaber over his shoulder, man, that pisses me off to no end every fucking time. I was like, man, that is so goddamn, man, and especially when you watch the documentary and you see that Luke actually had, you know, the moments where he just threw the lightsaber to the side. But no, they went with the comedy over the top thing. And that's what pisses me off. There's a way to get the right emotion and do what you're trying to achieve without being over the top and just tossing the thing over your shoulder. That's what pisses me off, and I understand where Star Wars fans are coming from. But to boycott everything in 2019, to boycott the parks, to boycott Celebration, to boycott Episode 9, that doesn't achieve anything. Boycotting doesn't achieve anything because Lucasfilm, Bob Iger already knows Kathleen Kennedy is fucking up. He already knows. He's been trying to replace her, but nobody wants to take her damn job. So, I mean, boycotting is not going to help us. So I disagree with Grace Randolph there. I disagree that boycotting is the answer because that is not the answer. You're doing nothing but hurting Star Wars at that point. And if you are a true Star Wars fan, you have the right to say, I don't feel like going to see this movie. I don't want to see Solo because I feel it's unnecessary. I'm going to skip it. You're right. No one's saying you're not a Star Wars fan by doing that. To purposely boycott something and give out hate just to hate, that's wrong in my opinion. If you're a Star Wars fan and you want to see how this trilogy ends, and I have complete faith that J.J. Abrams is going to try to fix as much things as he possibly can. I don't like the fact that Rey's parents are nobody. I understand where Rian Johnson's coming from. I listened to his interviews. I listened to his commentary. I understand that he felt, you know, that was the biggest decision, that was the hardest obstacle for Rey to get over. If her parents were like Luke Skywalker, everything would have been coming easy to her. It was the biggest thing for her, the hardest thing for her to hear was her parents were nobody. I understand that. But the problem is, this is a Skywalker saga. The saga films are a Skywalker saga. So if she doesn't have any lineage to a Skywalker, the saga is dead. You literally killed Star Wars for us. And I don't want to hear this shit that Ben Solo is a Skywalker. Because he's a fucking Solo, okay? He's a Solo. He's a Solo that cannot be redeemed. You have took this guy too far down the dark side. He cannot be redeemed at this point. And if you redeem him, fans are just going to turn on you even more. Because if there's ever an episode 10 with Ben Solo as the main protagonist, that's going to drive people nuts. Because you can't do that. So you had to make Rey a Skywalker. It had to be done. And from what I hear, that was pretty much J.J. Abrams' plan. But then Rian Johnson just kind of like basically just did what Luke did with the lightsaber and just threw it over his shoulder. And I don't understand why Kathleen Kennedy just let him do what he wanted. Like, why wasn't the guards in the throne room the Knights of Ren? There's so... Again, I like The Last Jedi. I think that movie has a lot of deep meanings in it, just as it has problems. So I can argue with people all day, well, I like it, here's the reasons why I like it. But if you tell me you dislike it for certain reasons, I'm with you 100%. But then you have some idiots out there that boycott Solo because they think that Lando was having sexual relationships with a droid. First of all, let me debunk that. Lando never fucked a droid. Okay, I don't know where people's getting this shit from. It was a joke that L3 made that maybe she had feelings for Lando, but that it was a joke, played for jokes. Never did Lando ever fuck a goddamn droid. Yet you have these people that hear what they want to hear, and then they boycott shit. So right now, Star Wars is in a big mess at the DCEU. You cannot win right now. J.J. Abrams has the world on his shoulder right now. This dude comes out, he's fucked if he does, he's fucked if he don't. And that is why George Lucas sold the damn company in the first place. Because you can't make fans happy. There's a whole documentary called The People vs. George Lucas. Okay, that's why the guy sold the company in the first place. Because you can't please Star Wars fans. I love Star Wars. I read all the comics, I read all the novels, I watch the TV shows, I see all the movies. And I judge them accordingly. If a movie sucks like Solo, alright, I got episode 9 I can look forward to. Episode 8, alright, not as good as episode 7 in my opinion. Has some good things about it. A lot of things about it I don't like, but that's fine. Let's see where J.J. Abrams take it. I don't take it so goddamn serious. Even the prequels. The prequels has a lot of stuff in it I don't like, but there's a lot of really good stuff. And so many people focus on the negative rather than looking at the positives. And I don't understand that. But the key thing is, and this rant went on way too long, and a lot longer than I wanted to go on to, but the key thing is, Kathleen Kennedy has her foot out the door. It's just a matter of time, guys. Uncle Bob Iger over at Disney, he wants her out. And the key thing is, who's going to replace her? Because right now, nobody wants to take that job. Because you are going to be walking into a lion's den if you take that job. But I want to know what you guys think. I know this video kind of went on a little longer than I normally do. But I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Let's talk as adults here. Let's not go in here and go, Last Jedi fucking sucks, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk as adults, okay? I like to reply to all of your comments. I really do. But if you just come out like a moron and go, well, Last Jedi sucks and you suck because you like it, tell me what you don't like about it. I will tell you what I like about it. Maybe the stuff you don't like is the same stuff I don't like. It's called talking like a human being. You don't have to be a goddamn incompetent jackass in the comment box. But I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.